So guys, welcome to another gardening video on my channel. Today we are going to be talking about 10 crops that you should be growing in January. We're going to talk about the veggies, herbs, and also flowers. We're also going to sprinkle in some companion plants for those crops so that you know they have some friends, okay? And then we're going to talk about whether you should direct sow them or you can transplant them. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's do what it got it. So the first one we have, and we're gonna go deep inside and you can see how many. First we have some tomatoes. Obviously I need to thin these are way too many in one spot, but yeah, definitely this should be evidence that you can definitely direct sow them now. You can transplant them. So the companion plants for tomatoes, we have lettuce over here. We also have basil. Basil is another one that really goes well with the tomatoes. And then we also have nasturtium. Nasturtium will really help in terms of keeping away the pests, keeping away all these, you know, the spider mites, all those guys. Just make sure with the tomatoes you have a trellis, they're growing up something, and yeah, you should be fine. The great thing about tomatoes is that they have different varieties, so I would say play around with the varieties, see which one works best for you in your garden. You saw that in some sections they weren't actually filled up, so then that means that one of the tomatoes actually don't do well. So you know, just keeping track of that. So basically tomato, I know the money maker, there's money maker, there's the Roma VF, and then there's even Flora de Raid as well. So you see, I know the Roma VF, those are the ones on the side, those are the ones that are growing really well. And then you see the ones in the middle are the money maker and the Flora de Raid. So those ones I have to maybe say, okay, maybe I shouldn't grow them anymore. Just, you know, try different varieties. So next one is pepper. So pepper, green pepper, red pepper, sweet pepper, all these peppers. Make sure that you are growing some pepper in your garden. So peppers go really well with basil, marigold, and carrots as well. The marigold will deter some pests. Basil will actually enhance the flavor of the peppers. And then the carrots are good because they don't actually get in each other's way. The carrots are below. They can grow together without taking up too much of each other's nutrients, right? And then also the carrots can also soften the ground for the peppers. And then with peppers also, I would actually recommend that you grow them in pots, right? These ones I would say grow them in pots because they actually are heavy feeders, right? So you can actually adjust how much you are feeding them. You can also then feed them more as compared to maybe the other crops that may be around. Once you grow peppers in the garden, then that spot is basically depleted. So you would need to heavily feed that back. So when you grow them in pots, then you can literally just keep supplementing with nutrients that pot, and you know, then you won't have to struggle the next season. Then moving right along, we have some cabbage. Just make sure that you have a lot of space. These ones I have to transplant. You can see how many there are. So yeah, this variety is the Glory of Enkenhazen. This one is very big, you know, it's a very big crop, so make sure that you do have a lot of space for it. And then also pair it up with some nasturtium. Nasturtium will help with the aphids, so the aphids really love the cabbage, so make sure that you have a lot of nasturtium. I actually have a lot of marigold that is growing, and you can see there's a bunch of marigold just popping up everywhere. So that will actually help with the aphids, getting rid of them. And then also pair up with onions. This also helps with the repelling of the pests. Then we also have mint. So mint will also then enhance the flavor as well, and then it could also deter some of the pests. Also, I would say direct sow these. You can obviously start by transplanting, and then you would have to then take them out. I think that may work better in terms of where you situate the crops. Then I don't have to move too far away. Then we have some cauliflower. So cauliflower also really goes really well with the cabbage, so that's why they paired up together. You know, they just literally together like this. This is the cabbage, and this is the cauliflower. So we have some cauliflower, and you can see again I need to transplant these out, but definitely cauliflower goes really well with nasturtium, goes really well with thyme. Thyme keeps away the cabbage worms, so get that in. It also goes really well with beetroot. That's why I planted some beetroot as well there. Also, direct sow transplant is up to you. Make sure that you just also give them some space, because they also really like to grow abundantly and big. And definitely the space, like let's say you see from here, it's like my hand. So here, having one here and then maybe having one here is good enough spacing, you know. Just last but not least, for the veggies, we have beans. Beans are a great one to have right next to the corn. These will really do well with corn, and having some corn next door to it basically gives some extra support for the beans, so the beans can actually grow up on that corn. Then you also have nasturtium. Nasturtium is a great one to pair with the beans, as these also deter some of the pests. Also pairing it up with some squash with the beans, because the beans can also either use that as a support, and also the squash will supply some shade for the beans as well. With the beans, I would also say that you can direct sow these. I just prefer direct sowing them. You can also transplant them, start them from pots, you know, whichever one works for you. These are very resilient, grow really nicely. So we move swiftly along to the flowers. So flowers, I'm going to give you 2 flowers, right? We have some roses. I know you guys love some roses. The roses are great to have a nice pop of color, to also introduce some pollinators, some bees. I know the bees love the smell of that. Then we also have hydrangeas. I know you guys love hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are also one of my favorites. And recently I saw a garden that has a lot of hydrangeas, so I wanna put some hydrangeas in there. It looks pretty. It attracts a lot of pollinators. Then we move to the herbs. So I have mint, thyme, and dill for you, right? So all of those do really well in January. The mint, I would just say make sure either you put it in a pot, just so that it doesn't go crazy all over the place, but I would say put it in a pot, or put it where you don't really mind having a lot of mint, because they will really just flow and keep going and keep going and keep going, spreading and spreading and spreading. Dill, a nice one to also deter some pests. It's really good for some of these crops that I just mentioned that you can put. Very good for deterring those. And then the last one, thyme. So thyme actually goes really well with the cabbages and the cauliflower. So you can put that together with those crops, because again, it repels the insects. It repels the cabbage worms, right? So yeah, guys, that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was helpful. I hope you're gonna start growing in January. There's a nice balance of rain and the sun, so yeah, it's the perfect time to be growing. And it's my birthday month, so don't forget to say happy birthday for me on my birthday month. It's on the 7th exactly, so you know, on the 7th day, yeah, all of that. I love you guys all. Love, peace, grow every single day.